everybody, welcome to this introduction to Python with Turtle graphics tutorial series. Today we're going to look at how to process not just one turtle, but an array of turtles. Now in the last video, we had a turtle object with a reference variable t1. We designed a function which set up the turtle. We designed a function which would move the turtle. And then in our main function, we called setup, and then 100 times we called that move function. And this was the result. Boom! Okay. Now what we're going to do today is say, okay, we're not going to have one turtle as our global variable. We're going to have an array of turtle racers. So I'm going to create a reference variable called racers, which is an array. And when I set up, the setup function is no longer going to set up a single turtle, it's going to set up some racers. So what I could do is say, okay, racers 0, which is the first element in the array, is going to reference a turtle object. And I could do that for 2 more racers. Okay? So each element in my array, each element references a turtle object. Okay, so let's run this and just see if we can get it working. Now we've got lots of errors here. It's saying that the index is out of range. Right, this is a problem here. The index is out of range, and let me explain why. My racers array is empty. At the moment, I don't have any elements to process. Okay, so a quick way to create an array which has 3 elements is to do something like this. Now this is going to set up an array which looks like this. We're creating an array with some placeholders. Okay. So we're just using this keyword none as like a placeholder to help us generate an empty array. And then in a minute, we're going to say, okay, racers 0, this one, you're going to become a turtle. And then racers 1, you're going to become a turtle. And then racers 2, you're going to become a turtle. So this is just a nice, convenient way to set up an array which has 3 elements. And then later, we will update those elements. Okay, so there's a nice trick. Now what we could do, of course, instead of doing this as 3 lines of code, because we've got these indexes, why don't we do this? For I in range 3 racers, I will be assigned a turtle object. That's another way of doing it. Okay. So when I is 0, racers 0 is assigned a turtle object, etc. Okay. Now after we set up, let's paint the turtles, or paint the racers. I'm going to design a function in a minute called paint racers, and then I'm going to call a function called move to start, which is going to move the turtles to the start of the race. Okay, their starting position. So let's define the paint racers function. I'm just going to do this an awkward way. I'm going to say, okay, each element in my racers array is 0. Dot color will be red. Now remember, racers 0 is a turtle. Okay, it's referencing a turtle. So we can use the turtle's color function with this variable, racers 0. Okay, racers 1 dot color is going to be green, and racers 2 dot color is going to be blue. Okay, it didn't use a for loop that time to process the 3 racers. I've just assigned them individual colors like that. many ways to do it. Okay, and let's go to the move to start function. Now, what I'm going to do here is use a for loop again. Well, that's Java. For I in range 3, we're going to take each racer and we're going to lift up the pen of that racer so we don't draw lines. We need to call pen up. And then we're going to say for each racer, we're going to set the position. Now I want the x coordinate to be somewhere on the left side of the screen. Remember, in the middle, the x coordinate is 0. So we want to have a negative number somewhere over here. So let's say minus 100. And I want the y coordinate to be different for each racer. So let's use the value of I to help us do that. Okay, when I is 0, this racer will be at minus 100, 0, which will be somewhere near the middle of the screen. When I is 1, racer 1 will be at minus 100, and the y will be 100. So he'll go back to minus 100, and he'll go up to 100. So he'll be up here somewhere. And when I is 2, racer 2 will be at minus 100, and the y will be 200. So we'll go minus 100, and we'll go up to 200, somewhere up here. Okay. So when we set up, we generate 3 turtles and assign them to a variable. We then call 2 functions, we paint them, and we move them to the start. Now let's go into, I'm not gonna call move yet. I'm just going to delete that move. We'll deal with that later. So let's call the setup function and see if all of this happens. Boom! Oh, we didn't set the shape, did we? Okay, so let's go back and just very quickly look at how to do that. Where should we do that? Racers, when we create those turtles, is that where we do it? Let's just do it there. For each turtle in the array, we're going to set the shape of the turtle to be a turtle. Let's just do it there. When we generate the turtles, let's also quickly set their shape. Hopefully we'll get 3 turtles. Boom! Have a think about it and see if you can set up an array of racers.